Stuck in a game you've already mastered? I know I've been. Good morning. Welcome to Huddle for Success. I'm your host, Duane Gibbs. Alongside me, my partner, as always, Mark Bruce, the Hall of Famer, where we come to you every Monday with a full episode packed with tools, strategies, conversations to help you grow not only in business, in life, and then also in personal transformation.
Good morning, Duane. I thought sure you were going to say I'm here with my partner, Mark Bruce, the master of stuckedness. Instead of the Hall of Famer. I don't know.
Stuckedness.
I've,
Stuckedness, is that
I,
a word?
no, it's not a word. I have been stuck a few times in my career.
Yeah, that's why I said this resonates with me because I surely have it. Feeling
Yeah.
like I'm at the top of my game, feeling like I was stuck, but I know that I was good. I felt like everything's good. I would say, what I like about this today, it will talk to people that that have a very specific kind of feeling about themselves, a specific kind of person,
Yeah.
someone who isn't failing, someone who isn't losing, but someone who actually is very good at what they do.
Yeah.
And they're just feeling stuck. I know that I've been there and you've been there. It comes from a point that you feel like, hey, I'm at the top of my game, everything's going good, but at the end of the day, I'm feeling stuck and I can't overcome. Am I really not as good as I thought I was? Am I failing? Am I getting older? The busyness with AI and younger generation coming in, are they knowing more? And there have been people that I talk to that I feel like, hey, what's happening? The momentum feels like it's quietly fading away. And so today, we're going to talk about why playing too small kills momentum and why reinvention matters. And we do it all the time in our business. We have to reinvent who we are as a company. We have to reinvent our message. We have to reinvent what matters in educating someone to what they're trying to accomplish. Because if we're not reinventing ourselves, then we're not only doing our students a disservice, but we're also doing the company a disservice. And I have found myself multiple times having to reinvent myself because you have to evolve, you have to start doing better. And when it comes to you, Mark, what's that mean? What's that mean when you hear someone say, stuck in a game you've already mastered?
What that means to me, and I can't tell you the number of times it's happened. I've said I think in my bio I retired multiple times. And what happens is, all right, so you set a goal and you get to that goal and man, you hit it and life is good and you start going, okay, I got this down and you go on autopilot for a little bit. And then things are comfortable at first. The rules, everything just feels good and it's easy. Everything's easy. And then maybe you say, oh, I want to increase it a little bit. And then, oh, that didn't work. And then little thoughts start creeping in. Oh, is this the best I can do? Is this all there is? And no, it's just what got you to the level of success, the person, all your habits, and it got you to that level of success. Now you've got to learn some more. You've got to learn some new habits. You've got to learn to think differently. When you stop stretching, when you stop going for those goals, that's when you can feel stagnant and God, man, what's going on? I'm stuck. This time in the world I think back to the 1900s when Henry Ford invented the car. 1905, 1910, he was inventing the car. And then the Wright brothers in 1914, they created the airplane. They learned to fly. Things were changing like crazy. People said, what's
No
going
way
on?
those guys are going to be able to do that.
Yeah, and yet they did. And by 1920, there were commercial airlines and people were flying around the world. That was a series of about 20 years. In the world we're living in today, if you're not changing, those 20 years are going to be compressed into 20 months with AI and all the technologies. You got to learn to stretch. And You're not stagnant because you don't care. You're just stagnant because your goal needs to change so it can move you forward even more. You know, what it's like you've lost, you need to find new momentum, don't you think?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Momentum doesn't usually die from failure, it dies from repetition
Yeah.
and from comfort and from doing what you already know and what you do. Sometimes playing too small doesn't look like you're quitting, it just looks like you're staying busy. It looks like you're being, I don't know, what am I looking for? It looks like you're being, help me
Responsible.
out.
Responsible.
Responsible? Yeah, responsible.
Yeah.
I think that's the right word. It looks like
Yeah.
choosing what's safe instead of what's challenging you.
Yeah.
And if you don't feel challenged, you feel, oh man, everything feels good. That's dangerous because comfort feels productive. And what I mean by that is nobody questions you what you typically do. You're not doing what's expected. You're checking all the boxes. We look at things and say, okay, this aligns. But initially, something starts to shut down, things slow down, and things start, it fades. Curiosity fades, your energy fades, and people mistake that from burning out or a lack of motivation. And when in reality, it's a lack of challenge. You're just not challenging yourself to the fullest potential, and you just get bored. You get burned out with it, and you're just like, I don't have any motivation, just like what I said.
Yeah. And that's not failure. It's not failure at all. It's a signal that it
Mhm.
is time to move on. That restlessness, that's when you've got to say, okay, let's think for a minute. What is it that I really want? Why, what am I ready for? What do I want and why do I really want it? You've got to find that why, and so that the goal can be bigger so you can stretch. It's stretching, it's picking that goal that's bigger than what you've accomplished before. And there's always another level. You can always get to another level no matter what. It's kind of like you're traveling on a winding road and you can't see where you're going to actually end up until you make the final bend and the final turn. But guess what? You make that turn and oh gosh, you can see more. And there's where you thought you were going, there's another turn around the corner that you might actually want to take.
Yeah. If not, that challenges can happen and you fall off the cliff.
Yep. Well, yeah, that could happen too.
Yeah, for sure. I think renovate reinventing gets a bad reputation. People hear the word and think that it means to start over, walk away, just leave it be, move on from it, don't reinvent yourself, do what you're doing, you're winning, and that's really that's not the answer. You have to look at it this way, and reinventing yourself is progression. It's choosing a new challenge that requires more of you. It acknowledges that what you're currently doing, it no longer fits of who you become. The strongest person I know reinvents themselves regularly. They have to.
Yep.
Look at that would be like all of the buildings in Las Vegas. If they stayed the same for 20 years, would people go there anymore? And they just wouldn't. Why? Because they're constantly changing to they have to reinvent themselves, they have to tear down, they have to build up to where people want to go and visit that. No different than Disney. If they were to still have at Disney ET, the whole ride and everything of ET, people are like, man, I don't want ET, that's 100 years ago. So you have to reinvent yourself if you're looking to create true success. Not because, again, not because you're failing, it's because it's how you need to change your strategy. And it's not quitting by any means. It just graduates, you graduate, let me say that. You graduate
Yeah.
to a different level.
Yeah, it's funny. We had Jimmy on last week and we were talking about AI, but while he was in college, he paid for college through bartending and he
Hmm.
worked in Ybor City in Tampa and he'd worked there for 2 years and the bar would be the hottest bar. Everybody, there were lines out there. And then by the third year, the lines got smaller. So they'd shut the whole bar down, redo the inside, create a new theme and open it back up. And it was the hot spot again.
Yeah.
Reinvention is really important. In our life, not all goals create momentum. That's one thing that I learned from Bob Proctor when he was coaching me was there are different level goals. You can set a goal to, I want to, if you drive, Bob used to use this as an example. If you drive a Pontiac and you bought it new 4 years ago and you want a new Pontiac, that's a goal, but that's a C-type goal. That's something you've already done before.
That's exactly what he says.
Yeah. And so Bob is in my head. So
It's
sorry.
like deja vu when I heard that. I was like, yeah,
Yeah,
he says just that.
he uses a Pontiac. I don't know why he uses Pontiac, but he does. If you create a goal that you've never done before that makes you stretch, that's what gives you energy. That's what makes you excited to get up in the morning and do the uncomfortable things that you need to do to reach that next level. Real goals require thinking. When you set them, if you know how to get there, it's probably not big enough. You've
Yeah.
got to set a goal that you know is possible because other people have done it, but you don't know how to get there. That's one of the that's one of the best ways to regain momentum and have it return naturally so that you don't force it. Just set that goal.
Yeah. And I would say if you're listening to this, it, you have to really stop and think about what we're saying. And that is if you're feeling stuck in a game that you have mastered, hear this clearly. You're not broken.
Yeah.
You, listen, you would have never have created great success if you were broken or if you were a failure or if you just weren't ready for whatever you were trying to master. And it just means that you're playing in an area that, you know, it requires more momentum.
Yeah. You're still on the JV team and you're ready for the varsity.
Yeah, it's just we all get bored. We're like, everything feels good. I'm going to continue to do the same thing I'm doing because it's created my success. People tell me how great I do, but at the end of the day, you just feel it feels like it feels like it's resistance. It feels like I'm trying to reinvent myself, but I don't know how to do it. And I would just say, don't beat yourself up over it. Reinvention you have to do that to grow. You
Yeah.
have to do it.
Yep.
Thank you for watching this episode. We look forward to seeing you on our next episode of Huddle for Success. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Huddle for Success. If you found it helpful and want to support others on their journey, share this podcast, leave us a rating, and drop your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you next week on Huddle for Success. Stay huddled up.